Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Three Dads and a Console. We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about, but we are here to do it for you. And remember, this show is kid-friendly, so no earmuffs are needed. Now, on with the show. I'm one of your hosts, Wobble Plays, alongside the Yost Booster, Court.
Oh, I actually am wearing a Ghostbusters shirt. I didn't even realize that. So there's two or three of us are Ghostbusters, and Waba, not so much.
I'm the guy. Who is it? Who did Thor play? That's me.
Thor?
Because we look alike. Yeah. He was
Okay,
the
we're gonna talk about this, but I would say, and Pez is the Ghostbuster expert on this show, but I would say that even though it's canon, we're gonna act like that movie didn't happen, right?
Correct.
Okay.
But Thor.
Is it canon though? I think it's not canon anymore. I think it just doesn't exist.
I think it is like a alternate timeline garbage.
It's really bad. Like
Yeah,
before we
it's
get
not
to
good.
the reason I say this is my daughter, we've watched every single one. We've watched all the Ghostbusters now. She finally just watched the newest one because she was a little bit scared to watch it, but we finished all the Harry Potters. And so she figured she's brave enough now. So we watched Frozen Empire and I asked her to rank them and she ranked them and she forgot to rank 2016. So I pulled up the cover and I was like, well, what about this one? And she's like, that one kind of sucked. And that was her answer. She was like, that one kind of sucked. And I
She's
was
right.
like, well, why? And she's like, it's not the Ghostbusters. I was like, well, no. And I tried to explain to her why they made one with an all-female cast. And she's like, but it's not the Ghostbusters.
She is correct.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong. I would say she's right.
She even made a comment when we were watching the newest one when Peter Venkman hits the glass. He opens the cabinet to get out the bottle of booze,
Mhm.
and she's like, oh, typical Venkman.
Oh my God, she's in. She's in.
One of us.
100% in.
Yeah.
Speaking of canon, that loose cannon you hear is Pez. Hello.
What's up, boys? What's the crack? How it do? What it be?
So we're back from a week off,
Yeah.
as they say.
Wobbit and I were very close to each other.
Yeah, but
were.
you didn't cross swords
Nope.
or streams, as they would say.
There was no stream crossing, but we were both in Maine.
We were like
Crushing
20
it.
minutes down the road from each other.
Yep. Crushing it. We could have met at Captain Jack's, had some apple fritters and a drink.
Ooh, apple fritters are fantastic.
Actually,
So
have never had apple fritters.
Okay, so the next time, are you serious?
Thanks for
Yeah.
the suggestion.
Hold on. So when you finally come to Canada, because now that I've come to Boston and hung out with you, you guys have to come to Canada. I think would be the perfect time to do either. Here's what I thought about this because I was doing a video for my Burns Die Hard stuff. So if anybody like Burns fans, please go subscribe to Burns Die Hards. I'm literally very close to 1,000. Like, let's
She's
go.
right there.
Let's get us there. 2025 is Chara Hockey Hall of Fame. 2026 is Bergeron Hall of Fame. And I would think now, I wanted to ask you guys this. Sorry for derailing.
No.
2025, Chara and Tuca are eligible. But the other names that are eligible for 2025 are Duncan Keith. Yeah, but he's getting in well. But you give me the look. Like he's first ballot Hall of Famer. Joe Thornton, Ryan Getzlaf, and then Char, and then Tuca. So it's like, I don't think Tuca gets in 2025. I actually think he gets in 2026. He's a Hall of Famer, bar none. But Char is a first ballot. Thornton's a first ballot. Because you got to remember, they look at basket of goods.
Yep.
Thornton didn't even win anything.
He's won Olympic gold. He's won the Canada Cup. Stop it. He's won World Juniors. Those count. He's also won the Hart Trophy.
World Juniors. I stopped putting my high school GPA on my resume. When I was 25. He's got to stop counting his World Juniors now that he's a grown man.
Anyways, and then you've got Ryan.
I'm sandbagging that. I'm sandbagging the crap out of that.
That was bad. So then you have Getzlaf, who's Getzlaf's the only one where I'm like, is he?
I don't think he makes it. No, he's not. He's not. At least not first ballot.
Then you've got Thornton, Duncan Keith, Chara. So Tuca could make it in his first year because they're more lenient to putting goalies now. because they've realized they screwed up and they didn't put goalies in when they should have.
Yeah.
Because they've treated them differently. But I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. Tuukka is top 5 in every category and top in every category for the Bruins. He's getting in. Anyways, that was just my theory that when you guys, I actually thought about that while I was writing an article. I was like, writing a script for one of my videos. I was like, well, that could give them an excuse to come visit. Because if Chara and Tuukka are getting in 2025, you come down for the Hall of Fame ceremonies, and we go to this because the public's allowed to go.
I want to go.
And Chara is one of Pez's favorite players of all time. It's like there's a lot going on there.
He's so tall.
So is Pez.
Oh my gosh, I've
True.
never seen you or Chara in the same room.
We might be the same person.
Could be.
And not only that, the Hall of Fame game is always between the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto, and the Hockey Card Expo is on at the exact same time in Mississauga.
Stop. That is too much.
Every year, because I go to the Hall of Fame game every year. The one
Me too.
time Marchand, he skated around the rink with a trophy
Nice.
because there's an MVP of the game.
When does this usually kick off?
During the it's like January, Feb type time. It's winter.
2025, if it's in February, could not do. 26 could do.
Book it.
Because 25,
or you
we're
guys could
going
come
away.
in the summer.
Hmm.
Where are you going?
Going to St. Lucia
The Pitons.
for our 15-year anniversary. No children, no other people's children, all inclusive, adults. Let's go.
Nice.
Yep.
Look at
That's
that.
the
So whereabouts in Maine did you go?
So I went to Sebago. So Sebago has
Sounds like Trinidad and Tobago.
It is pretty much the same.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Not tropical.
beaten down by the Mighty Ducks USA team in D2. It's one of the biggest. It's like a huge lake up in Maine. We rent a house. There's like 16 of us. Rent a house. Sister has a boat slipped up there, so we just hung out and went boating, and we made sure the house has a pool. So we went swimming when the water was too choppy or whatever, and played mini golf and did fires at night for s'mores, and just a lot of family time. 16 immediate family members.
Question.
Yeah.
I want to get a survey here. Campfires, great, but smell of clothes after, absolutely terrible.
I can't. I hate it.
I
Thank
like the
you.
smell of campfire, so
I
it doesn't
can't
bother me.
stand it. Like, I actually am like repulsed when I see people like, oh, why don't we sit by the fire? And I'm like, all I think about
No.
is the next day of like my pillow smelling, my hair smelling, my clothes smelling. Everything I'm wearing smells like soot. It's not cool at all.
It doesn't.
I don't. They have a smokeless one. Because Snoop Dogg said he was gonna quit smoking, and that was like the gimmick.
A solo
just bought a-
stove. I have a solo
Yeah.
stove.
Just got a Pinto.
I like it.
But yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Now,
much?
I've
$5?
also, I'm going to be, yeah, dude, it's such a good deal.
Sheesh.
Think about it. Just do the math, Waba. The math is good.
The math is valid.
Math
Yes, the
checks.
math is valid. Now, I'm going away in not next week, the week after, so I won't be on the show. And anyways, we can't talk about the thing that I'm not going to be getting to go to. But I have this new way of eating s'mores. So a friend of mine showed me. You take a. We use like metal rod sticks for the fire. Put a peanut butter cup on it. Dip it in fluff, the marshmallow fluff,
Mhm.
and then put that over the campfire. Then take the graham crackers and turn it into a sandwich, and you have fluff wrapped around peanut butter.
That's like
cup.
insane. That is like a
So
Pezzy coma
the,
waiting to happen.
the way I eat s'mores is I don't like marshmallow generally, and I definitely don't like it in the fire. So what I do is I do graham, choco, raw mallow, graham.
Raw mallow.
Raw mallow.
Is it because you don't? It's too sticky melted. Are you a sticky boy?
Yeah, it's just not. I don't want to deal with that life.
Mm.
So I just have the raw mallow, and I basically have a s'more.
You're
It's
eating
more of a more.
yeah. You're hitting yeah. You're hitting the raw bar, the s'more raw
It's
That
bar.
doesn't even make hold on. That doesn't even make sense. You don't like marshmallows?
Typically no, but I will have it for a
You
s'more, but it's got to be a
you
raw mallow.
you eat like a 5-year-old. I would think marshmallows are right up your alley.
Also, I don't like fire or smoke, so you can kind of see how I can make them
Everyone's
really
outside by
compromise
the
at home.
fire, and Wob is inside by his gas stove, just like toasting a little mallow so it doesn't smell like a
I've got a
campfire
metal
for 3 days.
got a metal trash can burning
Now,
my old bills.
when you
Eating 'em.
have Pez, when you campfire, also, yay or nay hot dogs?
Well,
Do you
I
do
mean,
spider dog?
I have done it, but usually
Spider dog?
I don't know what that is.
Oh wow! Captain goes camping and doesn't have a spider dog.
Mm-mm.
So you take the hot dog and you do slits in it,
Mm-hmm.
and when you put it in the fire, it'll open up and
Oh,
look like a
interesting.
spider.
That's
Y-
actually fair.
And
My
then the
brother-in-law
kids can
does a
rip it off.
spiral.
Mm.
The kids can rip it off, and they can just have little pieces of hot dog. It's very good because it puts a little bit of a char on it. Very good.
A little bit of chara.
Oh, also, Waba, while you're eBaying, Lucas Raymond.
Fair.
That's another
Valid.
one because he's very cheap right now, and that guy's going to be off. Also, Joel Eriksson Ek. That guy has gotten 20 goals every year.
He still plays
His
for
card,
Wild.
yeah, his card is so undervalued. Get that card. You can get his Young Guns canvas for like nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put
I'll make a
aside some
list.
to get it.
I will
Fair.
make a. I'll make a list.
I
I
was
just I decided to spend $100 on a bunch of cards, knowing that I'm going to sell them at the end of the year because I don't care.
fair.
Smart.
At the end of next season, and Lucas Raymond's up there, Shane Pinto's up there, Josh Norris, and Joel Eriksson Ek. All those guys. Their
There you
cards are going to
go.
be worth way more.
You know, I did on vacation during one of the rainier days. I did pull a Waba and hit up Goodwill
Did you go to the bins?
down in Raymond, Maine.
What'd you
No,
bins?
What'd you find?
nothing.
Mm-mm.
Because
thought
you're
of-
not. You gotta look smarter, not harder.
I mean, there was nothing like I cared to buy, other than MVP
So-
Baseball 05, but I didn't buy it.
So I actually went to the bins.
Yes,
Now
that sounds like a game you should have bought.
Yeah,
you can get it. You probably get it for less, like online.
there's $3.
But still too much. So I went. I on my way up, I went to the bins.
What a
and
dick!
I don't know what the bins. I don't know what this bin business.
Think about it.
means.
Okay, so you go to a store. Okay, they
Yeah.
have set prices.
Yeah.
Here, they have all the crap they couldn't sell or choose not to, and you pay by pound at the bins.
Where
and
is
it
this mystical bins you keep talking about?
Gorham, Maine is where I went. And it was
Gorham?
so overwhelming.
You drive very far to get deals, do you?
Well, no, it was on the way to where I was going.
You
It was only
but
3
like,
minutes out of the way
you're
from where
like
I was going.
Pez, you know National Lampoon's Vacation when they're like stopping at the big ball of yarn and all that. Waba's like picking out places to go rob old people of their things.
I did. So I couldn't find, like, they didn't have big video games, which is what everyone looks for. So I found a Rams Franklin helmet, which is basically an easy 20. I found 4 scratch tickets that were winners. Turns out they were so old you couldn't redeem them now. I tried. I thought that was just quick, easy money. I found some other like electrical stuff.
Hold on, Pez. Think about this. Put yourself in Waba's shoes. He walked into the Goodwill and found scratch tickets, thinking that these guys are plebs and they're
Yep.
not even turning them in. And then the expression on his face when he gets the
Well, I went into the gas station. I'm like, hey, I just want to redeem these, and the guy's like, I don't know how. It looks like there's no like scratch off. So now I have to come up with a lie so he doesn't think I'm trying to like scam. So I'm like, oh yeah, the cabin I'm staying at had him, and I figured why not bring them in and see if they're worth anything. Guess that's why they're left behind. Yuck yuck. That's not true.
He should have
It's
pulled the
because I
shotgun
paid
out on
$7
you.
and thought I found
It's a
$4. So
I will let you know, Gorham, Maine was 30 minutes from where I was staying. No shot I was driving there. No shot.
it was on the way back. So
For the mystical bins.
well, while I was in Maine, so when we went up to where we were going, I had already booked or bought a ticket back in Hartford to Blink 182. So I got my ticket, and then my wife
the
planned the
NHL
vacation.
doesn't even want to go to Hartford. Why did you?
So I drove
To
4
see the
hours
Blinky
there.
boys.
saw Blink 182.
How much were
Stayed
the tickets?
over. I don't remember. It's it's
Yes, you-
already
yes, you
spent.
do.
I got my one ticket because I'm
Mm.
a
Wait,
solo
wh-
boy.
You went to the concert by yourself?
I go to concerts by myself all the time. My wife doesn't like my music, and instead of having to buy 2 tickets and then someone, her buying snacks, I can just go by myself and do my thing.
I like going
I'm
to the
going-
movies by myself.
Yeah, I'm seeing Porter Robinson next month by myself.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know who that is either. What kind of music does he play?
Like electric.
Oh yeah, I
Samuel
don't care
music.
for that.
It's
yeah.
it's not your
Like a
guys'
Steve
type of music.
Aoki?
Yeah, he sings himself though.
I met him.
He
you know
does
that, right?
Shelter. You've heard that. You guys have heard his
remember
music.
that I met. Did I ever tell you when I met Stevie Aoki
No,
and like chilled with him in Vegas, which was weird
no.
because he was on my plane and he was just sitting near me and he started talking to me and my wife didn't know who he was and he kept talking to us and he was like, it's really great that like, you know, he's like, I know it sound weird, but like you don't know who I am. I'm like, no, I know who you are. I just don't care for your music, but I think you're really.
I don't
like-
care for your craft, sir.
But no. I said, I know you're very talented and you're entertaining. I'm like, I know a million people love you, so who am I to judge? And he just looks at me and goes, thank you. And like he sat there, he talked to us, and then like he was like, do you want an autograph? I'm like, no, I'm good.
No thanks. No thanks to Steve Aoki.
That's probably the best interaction he had because everybody else is just like screaming.
And I told him, you know what I said to him? When I said, we're staying at the RA. He says, well, my pizza joint's there. And I said, you know what? I'll get that for dinner. And I did. And the pizza was pretty good.
Did he
They gave
comp
you these
it?
No.
Wow, what a
They-
jerk.
I didn't ask.
Wow.
They gave hey, the Vegas Golden Knights comp my ticket. We're good.
Fair enough.
You know, I didn't
Everything
pay to go to
comp.
the Knights game. I got to go to the practice
I
facility.
would have billed
I
Steve
met-
Aoki.
I met Pete Blackburn. It was a great trip. I met DJ, but like he didn't acknowledge my presence.
That's fair.
That's fine.
Goddamn DJ.
Yeah.
So that's what we were up to last week. We gotta talk about games because that's why we all here. We got to play
Germs?
some fun stuff. Court, tell us a little bit about a game that you've been playing.
Well, yeah. Speaking of, I guess did I talk about
Germs?
Deadpool at the top of the show where I said it was?
No.
Anyways,
That was
he's not in
pre-show.
the game, and neither is Wolverine, so it doesn't even matter. But thanks to my friends over at Console Creatures, I've been playing Marvel Rivals. So I've put like 2-3 hours into this game. I need to ask both of you because I know both of you like these type of games. What is it about Overwatch that does it for you?
Diva.
Wow, you would like win
Just
that's
the
why-
like
event
completely was just he knew right
a
away.
sex
He was
doll
like,
that can be digital.
No,
you
no,
can
no,
turn
no.
it
I'm just
yeah.
saying that's why. I remember I wasn't into
"Oh,
Overwatch, and
yeah,
then
go-ba-da-do."
my buddies told me to get it, and I was like, oh, it's just the characters are cool. Like
We never
I
told you,
played
so
Roadhog.
Don't say your buddies because we never told you.
No. I have one other buddy. No, it's Roadhog. Like you get to gravitate towards like the cool characters, and like I don't want to get into it, but I think that's like
What does that mean?
so when the characters aren't just
I'm asking what about the gameplay? What about the game?
So I think the gameplay like falls in line. Like it's very standard in terms of like what the core mechanic is. I mean, which is like, like either capture an objective or like, team like was it deathmatch? I don't think this has it.
But
but
there's not
it's
that
being-
many modes in this. Like what I don't understand, because while I was playing it, Pez, I really felt like I was watching you play Overwatch.
Hmm.
I was like, I've seen this before.
The skill that's cool is seeing how you can build. Granted, if you're playing with people who can like team comp, playing with a comp of people like characters and abilities that go together and can also counter another team's like characters and abilities. If you don't care about that, or your team's full of bozos from Stupid Town, it's not gonna be fun because solo queuing is one of the worst things that you can do in your adult life.
See, that's what I play games solo unless Pez will every now and then be my friend and play the Division with me or whatever game. Every now and then he'll jump into whatever game I'm playing. He's pretty much the only one that will at least humor me and play games with me online.
I'm a good
because
boy.
I don't play a lot online. Let's be honest here, and I think maybe that's it. I think I need to give up on trying to play these online games because I think the gameplay mechanics in Marvel Rivals is amazing. I think each move set, I used a bunch of different characters. I think it's very cool. I think it's a little slow, but I was told no, I'm wrong. So I was like, that's fine. It's better than Concord.
Mm.
Like this is gonna eat Concord's lunch. Like I still think
Yeah.
Concord's just gonna PlayStation's gonna release it and the game's just gonna die. It's just
Yep.
it is what it is. But Marvel Rivals, I think, will be huge. But I don't think it's a game for me.
Yeah.
But it's very cool. Like I used the Punisher, I used Spider-Man, I used Storm, I used Magneto, I used Venom, I used Rocket. Like I just used a bunch of different characters. I just kept trying to switch and use different characters.
Mhm.
I use I really like Star-Lord, even though everybody was telling me he's a hard character to use. I really liked it, and that was the other thing. People were like, "This is a hard character versus this." But I did find that when I wasn't playing with friends, I got bodied every 2
Mhm.
seconds, and it was terrible, and my enjoyment level just was like, "Brrr." My enjoyment level for Helldivers 2, amazing, only when I played with friends. When I
Mhm.
wasn't playing with friends, I didn't like it. I think that's my thing,
Mm.
that if I'm playing any of these online games, and this game's free, right? So I think everybody in the world's gonna play this thing. If I'm not playing with buddies, I can't play these games because I don't. It's more about having fun, like when I played Sea of Thieves with Pez. It's more
Mhm.
about having jokes and making fart jokes and laughing
Yeah.
than it is about the gameplay itself. As long as the gameplay is semi-entertaining, it hooks me. That makes sense. And that's what Marvel Rivals is. I think if you're playing with buddies, you're gonna enjoy the living daylights out of this game.
Yeah, you have to enjoy the team shooter type games.
But
Character
the graphics
shooters.
are phenomenal. The controls are great. Everything feels very responsive. The traversal's great. I didn't have fun playing.
Mm.
It's fair. That type of game isn't for everybody. And one thing I noticed is because it's third person, I noticed a lot of because I saw some gameplay from it. A lot of the movements are very repetitive. Like the reloading motion is the same every time, and obviously it's not going to be like this dynamic thing. But it's like one
Well,
thing
it's
I
kind of cool on your DualSense, the reload. It actually is.
fair. But one thing I like about Overwatch, I feel like all the movements are very, how do I put this, like unique to the character. Like whether it's a reload, whether it's an ability, there's a lot of
Oh
like
no,
immersion in that. But
they're
in this,
very
I feel like
unique.
it's all very
No, they are.
like
They're unique.
routine.
They I hear what you're
Yeah.
saying, but they are like because when you're using Star-Lord, the DualSense, and I'm playing on PlayStation 5,
Oh, so
you can actually feel his reload. And when you're using Spider-Man, you can feel being hit and you can feel Spidey sense like the controller. So there are a lot of uniqueness to them. But I see what you're saying on the core moves.
yep.
Yes, they are the same.
I do think it's going to be cool, and the appeal of this is going to be people can finally play certain characters that they haven't been able to. Not Spider-Man or whatever, like Magneto's and what Marvel's Capcom, but like
Magneto's hard, man.
there's just
I
people like
would think
really
Pez would
attached to
love
different
him though.
characters, and you
Pez
get to
would
now
love
play as that
Magneto.
one. Is Doom in it?
Not from what I'm playing here. I'll pull it up and I'll get the character list while you guys are talking.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like to answer your question about Overwatch, for me, it's all about just A, I like the competition of it, but B, it's like I like learning hero kits and then figuring out how to be better than the person who's running the same hero I am on the other team.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about maximizing your hero kit. That's what I really like about it. Plus, I'm a good healer, so got to keep the boys alive.
Yeah, Overwatch didn't really because I used to, shocker, I played Diva first, and like I wasn't good with that character. But once I like found Roadhog, and it was like, oh, this is it. This is a tank, self heal, got the hook. It's like you get really good, and then when you can find people who complement that, like I've I would say friends, but you guys don't believe me. I know people who are good healers,
True
and
story.
so,
We don't because we're your best friends. So
yeah,
like
right. But it
Besties
made
for
it
the
really
resties.
easy. But it made it really easy when there are people who are able to heal effectively. And
Mhm.
again, you weren't just playing with these bozos who like Balloon from Stupid Town, who just run up and stagger and all this nonsense. So yeah, those games, solo queue, done. Like it's not going to be as enjoyable. So try it when other people get it.
hold
When
on.
I mean, I'll try
I
it
got
if it's since it's
it's
free, I'll
load.
try it.
What yeah, it's free to play this game.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because if I could get myself to level 6, I could get one of you guys a code to the game. I'm just
Grind it, baby.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not gonna do that because you
Pay
know
someone
that.
on Fiverr.
Wabba can be
All right,
Roadhog
so
too.
you can get heroes. We
Roadhog
have
Groot.
Bruce Banner, the Hulk,
Le
the
Hulk.
Punisher, Storm, Loki, Doctor Strange, Mantis, Rocket Raccoon, Venom, Iron Man, Luna Snow, Magic,
Oh,
Groot, Black Panther, Hela, Spider-Man, Magneto, Scarlet Witch, Thor, Penny Parker, Star-Lord,
So weird.
Namor, Jeff the
Namor.
Land Shark,
Yeah, that's
and
who I'm gonna main. Jeff the Land
and that,
Shark.
that does sound like a Pez move. And Adam Warlock. Actually, I was talking to someone recently about Namor and how he's the most useless character in all of superherodom.
Oh, he's not. I have so many opinions about that. But no, I'm not gonna get into it. It's because
Pez, hold on,
he's
Pez.
I'm waiting. Get into it. Get into it.
I found a like he
Well-
has an opinion about Fishboy.
well,
Yep.
no, it's because he's a big part of like the Fantastic Four early, and it's a very interesting like plot device because it's like you have these like you have fire,
one
you've
cares.
got Thing, you've got someone who can stretch, and then you have Namor who basically runs this whole. He's deceptively strong, but his character, if is he like he's not movie Namor, he's like fish
Is
tights.
he though?
Is he right? What's his character like in that? Is it like his model fish tights,
I just got
wing
out of
feet?
it. My bad. Sorry.
He's the definition of like an old comic character because
He's
obviously
old balls.
he can't fly unless he has wings on his ankles, right?
Old balls.
No, it's just it's a representation of a time of like early comic books when things were like kind of like slapstick and hokey in a certain way, like how Magneto or Xavier can't just use their mind, they have to put their finger on their temple and describe exactly
You
what
are
they're
not
doing.
selling it to me here.
It's because you're not. I like the old stuff. I like reading the old stuff. If you don't, you're not gonna like. People aren't gonna gel with like characters like Namor because
That's
they're gonna be
why-
like, oh well, he's Aquaman light.
That's why you're a
And
big
Aquaman's
Dazzler.
not
Okay, but
cool.
hold on. Aquaman sucks too.
Oh,
That's why I said he's
horrible.
Aquaman light, and Aquaman's not even good. That's what
They
you're gonna
both
think of
are.
as Namor.
My issue with both the characters is their powers are pointless.
They're not if you think about the time in which they were originated. It
Okay.
was a big deal.
Yep.
You mean you have someone who can talk to fish and handle like the sea
No,
as his command? That's
that
a
is
big deal.
That is not what you say it is.
I have one of my father-in-law's old comics. It's Spider-Man versus Frankenstein. It's just the time early comics were just weird. They
Yep.
were just grasping at
Who do you think
straws,
won
and
that?
Namor was that.
Who do you think won
So
that?
that
match?
hold on. Your whole argument here is because they were grasping at straws, I should like this character.
No, it's
because
just it
Lubba just wants
encompasses
respect on Namor's name.
exactly. It encompasses a
respect.
very unique time of comic creation
I'm
early
giving
on.
the opposite of respect.
You're just a hater.
Respect.
I'm not
Well,
honestly.
I'm picking Namor now.
I have
Do
become
it.
very comfortable in my life now, and I just don't give a shit anymore.
Whoa.
I can't believe-
Whoa, he let
I'm
one
not bleeping
go.
that out either, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it.
Well,
Namor-
yeah, that can get into. You know what? With that swear word, I think it's because I was just watching the Goonies. Now, I want to talk about this. I watched the Goonies with my daughter because like we got through all these movies and I'm like, we're gonna watch the Goonies. It was one of my favorite movies growing up. I looked at the year it came out. I was like, we were the same age. I went to saw it in a theater. I'm like, this is perfect. That movie has so many swear words. It is unbelievable. I'm actually in shock how many times they swear. And that Chunk as a character, that kid has a potty mouth and he needs to wipe his mouth out with soap because it's unbelievable. That
Get the
kid drops
Dawn.
says
Get the
the
Dawn.
S word over and over. It's like they really want to say that movie. They want to say that word. And then they BICTH, they say a bunch. It's like, wow. They say a lot, but I'm not gonna lie, my daughter loved the movie. She thought it was amazing.
It's a great movie. 80s movies are built different. Like if you think about my oldest daughter's favorite movie is The Breakfast Club.
Such a good movie. My wife hasn't seen it. I should make her watch that.
It's PG-13. If that came out now, it would be rated R.
Well, yeah. It also, if it came out now, there would be so much other
But like
type of
that's
stuff
just
in that movie.
how 80s movies were. Like PG, like a PG movie for 87? Is that when the Goonies came out? It's just swear words and it was PG because it is what it is. That was the 80s. I love the
It's the
Goonies.
80s.
My kids have all watched it. They love it. It's a great movie. Great 80s flick.
Goonies is
Ooh.
amazing.
Truly a great 80s flick. Wob has probably never seen it. Have you seen it?
I have, but
You-
yeah, it was
okay.
it was something that my summer camp would play sometimes, and it was fun. I didn't appreciate it as much as when I was older. When I
Mm.
was younger, I thought it was, oh, this is a cool movie. These are some cool dudes. But now
Dude, Waba,
they're
you
really
should
cool
go
dudes.
out and watch like a Breakfast Club and 16 Candles and Outsiders. What else is great? Get through those.
I remember
so you
Kingpin was one people used to watch at that time. I don't know
No, that
why.
is not. That's not. We're not. That is 90s. We are talking. Jesus, don't be disgusting.
I don't know.
Nine-
I'm sorry. I don't
Kingpin
blend
Kingpin is a great
together.
movie, though.
What do you
Kingpin
want?
is a great
Oh,
movie.
it's great. The 90s is about comedy. The 80s is about comedy, but like with a good story,
Mhm.
like Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Great movie. St. Elmo's Fire, great movie.
So good. Oh, Secrets of Mana, the demo, Visions of Mana. You can get the demo now. You can
I'm in
play it.
there.
And they like swimwear.
Yeah, but you know,
Also, did you see the Skywalker Saga? Lego Skywalker Saga is coming to PlayStation Plus. What?
let's go. Oh,
Cute.
speaking of,
Look at me. I talked so much about video games there. I haven't done that in a long time.
I know.
Video games. What's that?
You're like, thank you. Good night.
I need quartz temperature on this new Batman show coming out.
I am extremely excited to watch this tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
Tell me-
The art
Talk to me,
direction in
Goose.
that
looks great. Phenomenal.
It looks like a comic.
Yep.
It looks actually a cross between Batman the animated series and like a 1950s noir. Like it looks phenomenal. I'm extremely excited. Like next week, I will give a full review.
Can't wait.
I am so excited to watch that tomorrow. Like I have to go out on the road tomorrow for work, and I'm extremely disappointed because all I want to do is watch that.
It looks.
I'm debating not going to the gym and working out from home so I can watch that.
Respect. Respect.
Based.
I got big like Mask of
Yes,
vibes from
Phantom.
it. Yeah.
Yes,
Sorry, I
that is a
blanked
bit.
on it.
Also, that is a very good animated. Ooh,
It's probably the
why?
best.
Why is it DC does better at animation than everybody else
I don't know, man. I don't know.
besides Across the Spider-Verse?
But it's probably that's probably the best Batman animated movie.
Long
Mask of
Halloween is
Phantasm.
Long Halloween's very good, and so is Year One. Though Year One, I probably would say is probably the best because there's way more they get out of not work. Like there's way more scenes where you feel everything.
Mm,
I would say Mask of Phantasm is the best detective animated. If that makes sense.
yeah,
It's very
sense.
detective.
makes sense. There's also not only are we getting a new animated Batman, but in September we're getting the Penguin series on Max,
I know,
which
that
I'm
looks so
also
good.
very excited for
Oh, it's so excited.
because Colin Farrell I think is gonna crush it as Penguin.
Yes, and let's be honest here. We also want to know like what cameos we're gonna get. Who we getting? Who we getting?
I think there'll
Pattinson
be
Batman was a good movie.
I
No,
think there'll be
Batman won't be
small
in there.
I love that world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Batman
like-
won't be in there.
No, I think it'll be like, he goes and beats up like Carmine Falco or like Black Mask or something like that. I don't think it'll be anything earth shattering. But it
be
does.
fun.
I mean, it's set a week after. It's set like right after the Batman, and sets up the second movie. So I'm really interested to see where all this goes.
Ooh, I'm gonna download the demo of Visions of Mana so that my daughter can play it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Here we go.
It was very good. Spoiler alert, I played this demo when we were at PAX East, and it was fantastic.
I'm proud of you.
And
This is
Court,
the only WABA game that I like.
Court likes it when he came back from the demo and was like, I enjoyed my time with that because we all thought he was gonna hate it.
I
really
would
like
have put
the
money on it.
It was so good. I really like the art direction of the game. The gameplay is phenomenal. The character, your team, your crew that you get to use, everything about it. It's very well done. I also like. I think it's because the bright and colorfulness and the cute little
Yeah.
kitty cat people. Like my daughter's influences on me work.
I'm proud of you, broadening your horizon.
That's
your
right. The
gaming
horizons
horizon.
are broadened. Waba, I don't know if you can talk about the game you played.
I can now. I'm
Recently.
very excited to. Thanks to Ubisoft, or Ubisoft as it were, I got to play a 4-hour demo of Star Wars Outlaws. And first off, again, the really cool opportunity to be able to do something, especially in a game I've been looking forward to. There's not a lot out there, at least, I mean, they're coming up, all the big games, but like to be able to like try this one is like really neat.
This one comes out next month.
Yeah, it's August 30th.
We will have a review here at Three Dads and a Console. I will be getting a copy of that.
It's gonna be it's good. So there's been a lot of opinions online about it, and coming from my actual gameplay with it, I thought it was fun. I thought that
Your paid review for
my
it?
paid review, according to that one fool on our
Dude,
our YouTube.
I love that.
If that fool is watching this video,
He's not.
please tell me where we can get this money.
Yeah.
I want my internet cash already.
There
give me
is
that internet money.
nobody in the gaming industry besides people that are journalists that get paid by their outlet that get paid to play a game.
And if anyone wants to pay me to play their game, hit me up at wabaplaysofficial@gmail.com.
Seriously, that's the most Wobble Plays
And
conversation.
What a plug. Good
you
for
guys,
you.
yeah, and you
Good
can
for you.
you clip it and ship it. No, so it's I thought it was like, it looked great, and I'll go into a little bit of my experience with it. I thought that the world felt busy. I got to play on 3 different locations. There's one called Tashara, which is kind of like a lush area that you spend a lot of time in. It's where you get to learn like what the story kind of is about. They did have some story beats that we can't talk about and that you'll be able to discover, which is good. I'm glad they, wanted to kind of keep that part. There was one that was on a like an ice world that was called Kijimi. There was some space travel, and then you do board an Imperial starship, and that was actually my favorite section. And you go to this place and you realize like there are different factions, and there's like Jabba the Hutt's folks, and there's like some other like alien. There's Crimson Dawn, who's like the spy type faction. And you can, when you do missions, you can either choose to like ally with one and screw over the other, and it's really cool, like the decisions. And I don't know the impact that they'll have aside from like faction,
Like rep.
Exactly, like rep.
Is Conja Club in there?
I don't know. Who?
It's a real thing.
I don't know.
The fact that Ubisoft, we're both part of the same program, and Ubisoft picks you to play a Star Wars game, and I mentioned a thing about Star Wars, and your first thing is what?
Huh?
Conja Club. You haven't seen the movie?
What, the OG 3?
No.
Keep
going. Sorry, I've derailed you. I apologize.
So when you first like join, like there's like people chasing you immediately. You get on a speeder. I sucked at it. I hit something. But then you go into the actual town, like the city, and it's this weird like lush environment. You go, and it's merged with like the Empire. So the Empire has a presence in all these worlds, but it's not like in other games where as soon as you see a stormtrooper, you shoot them. They've meshed with the underworld. So there's this weird balance that we really haven't seen in other games, where just bad people are everywhere. It's like all these different factions, the underworld, and the underworld kind of has like the upper hand on the Empire. And you learn this through just conversations you can hear. And the conversations are interesting because, like Stormtrooper, and they're triggered. They're not like, unique. It's not like GTA, but like they'll walk up to someone and be like, hey, like give us something. And they're like, actually, like you owe us this because we did this for you. And they're like, oh, carry on. And they'll walk away. Or there's another person who like, he's like, hey, you owe me money. He's like, I don't have it. I need another day. He's like, give me your ring. You see him get the ring and they walk away. It's like these cool, like, it just feels like things are going on, because we've all, and I will mention Starfield, have seen cities that don't feel like there are people there, but it doesn't matter. Like they're just literal NPCs walking around. Here, it feels like there's like purpose to some of them, whether it's world building, whether it's, like I helped a vendor, I paid off like, stormtroopers and they're giving me a hard time. So he gave me a discount. My favorite part, first world, gambling. Gamba up the wazoo. I was betting on space horses, dude. And not just was I betting on
that.
space horses, I found that there was a space horse race that was rigged and bet on pink the next one, and easy wins. It was fun. They have other games, like when you go to the bar, they just have Gamba games at the bar. Lot of degenerates. So Pez, you're gonna like that
I
part.
met my people.
But I will like there's now that's kind of like the world building. Gameplay's fine. The
What
shooting part.
What like
Okay.
talk to me about the gameplay? Is it very like
Talk to me, Goose.
is it very like Ubisoftian type gameplay?
Yeah, it's not. There's like a cover. It's crouch in front of cover, but not hug cover like Gears of War.
Okay.
And then when you pop up, you shoot. The blaster seems fine. You can pick up other weapons, but you can't keep them, which I didn't like. I skip that part just because. Well, I'm skipping something just because I'm trying to remember what they want to talk about. But like, you can pick up like a sniper rifle, but you can't just carry it with you. So I feel like I was using my blaster most of the time, and I think I only used another weapon another time. And I wish there was a little more variety like that. But I don't know if I have to upgrade my like outfit or belt or whatever. So I thought the gameplay was fine, like in terms of like the gunplay. In terms of getting around different obstacles, like when I was sneaking around on the Imperial cruiser, like I would have to hit a button so I could like follow this tram that was moving. In some sections you can shoot people and just go guns blazing. Others you can sneak around. I felt sometimes when I was sneaking around, I was missing out on like the cool part of the game because the levels are so like really interesting and like fleshed out, but I'm spending some times in the tunnels. And I thought that part was fine, but I definitely anticipate some criticism there when people get their hands on it. And there's some platforming too, some which I found challenging. Definitely took me a few tries. And my favorite part of the game is you have a little like space dog named Nyx, and you can send Nyx to trigger something that will help you, traverse an area that's blocked. Or you can use Nyx to attack one enemy while you go for the other, or to attack the enemy that you want to go after. To sabotage an alarm so people can't call for reinforcements. To release steam so you can hide in that steam so people can pass. It's interesting.
It sounds like I'm gonna love this game. Like
Yeah.
truly love this game.
I'm trying to think of another game that does something like that I can compare it to. But it's just it just feels like you have a little more flexibility like that, and you're collecting stuff all the time. Materials, the materials you can use to create different outfits. I don't know what these outfits do, but you can see how it like checks off box. It reminded me like in Far Cry how you can upgrade your pouch if you get like whatever skins. And I thought the voice acting was great. It threw me off initially when I heard English from some of the aliens, but you hear like native languages like as you walk around, which was good. Just because I was like, there's like, what's the reason for this? I remember like in Mass Effect, you have like a chip installed in you or whatever. I'm like, how why are they all speaking English?
Right.
Empire still has British accents, even though they're in space and there is no Britain. Shout out that. And I also, last criticism, you get to fly in a spaceship at certain levels to either get from point A to point B or escape or whatever. Didn't like it. Don't like the space travel. Don't like this how the way the spaceship handles. I don't find the combat engaging. And I think that's another point of criticism people are going to face. If you really like space combat, I think you'll like it. It's not really something for me. And it was just a part where I was like, okay, like let me just get to the next part. But
was that and you can say you don't know.
Yeah.
Is that strictly just used for travel, or was that also like mission based stuff?
I'll say I don't know, but I get the impression you can travel to different areas, and some of which might be in space.
Gotcha.
So, for example, you finished what you were doing with the story on a planet, and then you went to the Imperial Starship. When you escape the Imperial Starship, there's a little open area. Later on, there was a part where I was playing, and again, this was disjointed, where you're in space, and I could join a battle, and I was like shooting ships that were reducing my faction rep, and like that was it was just you can go to the objective or you can like get loot or whatever. I do think it's going to be good. I will say like temper your expectations, and I don't mean the game is going to be good, but I think you just have to I don't think it's going to be like groundbreaking. I think if you think it's going to be like Star Wars, like Jedi, like Cal Kestis story, like Game One, like I don't know if it's going to be that, but I think it's going to be a really unique story that we haven't seen before because it deals with like a different subject matter that hasn't really been explored, maybe in the books. And I'm really interested to see how it intertwines with the existing story that we know because it takes place during the original trilogy, I believe, either during or after Empire. And what I thought was cool is
It's
that,
after Empire because Han's in the Carbonite.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, Jabba, like, you know, the
Yeah,
Hutt
but I
syndicate
literally,
is still
it's
there.
but Han's in Carbonite.
Okay, so there you go. So it
It's
happens at that
before
time.
Return of the Jedi.
So we have some characters that are still around that might be able to play. And like I know we talked about this before. You get there's a companion. I didn't get to interact with him. I just got to hear his voice. He's like this snarky, like Alan Tudyk style, dry, like humor robot that looks like he's like a beefed up version of a droid from the Trade Federation. And
These are not the droids you're looking for.
there's my favorite comment from it. I wish I like I should have like put that in like a
I wish it
something
was
we
a
could
little bit
use.
taller.
I wish I was a baller. Where he goes, "Oh, have you ever done this thing before?" And he just goes, "I fought in the Separatist Wars." I was like, "Okay, get wrecked."
Get wrecked. According
So
to
yeah,
Waba, get
love
wrecked.
it. I'm really looking forward to it. I enjoyed my time with it. I think it's going to be a good game. I think you're probably going to see, if people had to score it, like a lot of 7s and 8s. And I think that's a great score. And I'm excited that if this does well, hopefully we'll be able to get to see more either from this world or from the story. Don't know how it ends. Don't know how it begins. But yeah, I enjoyed my time. Again, thank you, Ubisoft, for that opportunity. And I'm really looking forward to getting my
Hashtag
hands on it.
Ubisoft creators
That's
or
right.
Ubisoft partner. Hashtag.
Hashtag it.
Let it hashtag. So that's what I
Cool.
got.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
Sounds like it'll be an enjoyable romp for the family.
Rompa.
An enjoyable romp for the fam.
He's not lying.
Everything for kids and adults.
Do not let your kids play this game.
Why not?
Because you're using a pew pew.
What does that mean? It's just a gun.
Did you find any lightsabers?
No.
0 out of 10.
I fought stormtroopers. I fought like alien syndicate people.
Xenomorphs?
And that was, I mean,
Is it morphing
that was
time?
it.
Mighty Morphin time.
I did not come across any Jedi.
Any
As
Yetis?
they-
A bunch of
any
coolers
Jedi.
just rolling down Rodeo.
But any final thoughts for the folks?
Yeah, stop playing Bungie games. They're a trash
Oh,
organization.
yeah, Pez.
Pez,
Dude,
go in.
go.
Go in.
I mean, I don't really have anything to say other than I was right. That's all. That's all I have to say is I was right. I've been right about Bungie for a long time. But all you smart marks out there that can't stop playing video games don't understand that Bungie is a garbage company. And you should have realized that when they took your paid DLC and put it in the Destiny content vault and said you can't play it again. Then, years later, took that same content you already paid for, stuck it behind another paywall, and then said, if you want this content back, you got to pay us for it. Then they laid off a bunch of people. Then they got bought by Sony. Their CEO, word that I'm not going to say because this is a very kid-friendly podcast, went out
Not going to do what y'all think I'm going to do.
and bought classic cars with that money and then fired 17% of their workforce today. And then people are like, who could have seen this coming? I saw it coming because I've been telling all of you out there, lovely listener, who I love so much, that Bungie blows and stop playing their games. Stop playing their games. And you know what's going to happen? Everyone that was on Twitter today that was like, oh, I can't believe Bungie would do this. And they're showing pictures of the CEO's Twitter account locked. And they're all like, oh, I can't believe he's not coming to get his comeuppance. When Destiny 3 comes out, all these marks, which is a wrestling term, so I'm sorry if there's no wrestling fans out there, all these stupid marks are gonna play Destiny 3 and be like, you should play Destiny 3. The gunplay is the best gunplay we've ever seen. And Bungie is just gonna do it all over again because gamers are stupid and they don't pay attention. End rant.
But you, listener, you're not
Some
stupid and you pay attention.
Some gamers.
Dumb.
Some gamers.
If you listen to us, you're obviously cultured, beautiful, tall,
And sexy.
and well-read.
If you listen to us, you're
And-
probably not well read.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
have, and we love you, but in a platonic way, like a way that we would say that wouldn't really say we're committed.
What
But
the
in a
hell are
way
you
that, like, if
talking
you
about?
said it out with your friends, everyone would know what it meant. It meant like we weren't, like, I didn't love you, but like, you know,
Wobble, what
I
are
didn't
you
like
talking
you
about?
again.
Tell
Just-
listener, tell the homies
I just don't
you
want anyone
love
getting
them.
attached.
Tell the homies you love them every day.
I just,
That's why we
just
have
don't-
homies to love them. And
I
it's
just,
okay.
I just don't want anyone getting attached. You know,
Wobba's got
ripping a
commitment
picture of
issues.
us off their wall with a single tear in their eye.
Don't. Wobba's got commitment issues. Don't love him.
I can't be what you want me to be. I'm sorry. It's not me. It's definitely you, though.
It's
Just know
not
that. Just
Chad. It's not you. It's not Wobba. It's you. He
yeah,
just
it's
hates you.
definitely you. You just
It's definitely
Be better.
Wabba.
Read the only well-read you should
We
read is
just-
self-help books.
why did you just did a 180 on them? It's like "Oh, you're the best. It's like actually you kind of need to work on
The
yourself.
only
first."
well-read chat you should be listener is self-help books.
Or 3dadsconsole.com where you can read all our awesome reviews and other opinion
that.
pieces.
You got that right.
That's right. Court, any final thoughts for the folks?
No, I got nothing, man.
It's got nothing.
It's a long weekend coming up here in Canada. I'm a little bit excited.
What's the holiday?
I have no clue.
Happy No Clue Day, Canada. Hope you celebrate with all your families. Is it Family Day? You guys have like a Family Day every month.
No, family isn't in later. I think this is Labor Day weekend. No,
Labor Day.
Labor Day in August? What kind of
no, Labor
backwards
Day is in
place that?
September. Yeah, no, at the end of August. Yeah, Labor Day is the end of August.
Oh, for us,
September.
it's September.
This is something I don't know, man. Whatever. It's a
It's
day
what-
off.
It is what it is. Yeah, it's a day off.
There
Who
we go.
cares? Who cares?
And I'll leave you with this. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot
God.
sleep. I cannot breathe tonight. I need somebody always.
Where are you?
The sick, strange darkness comes creeping on and haunting every
Please.
time. And as I stared, I counted the webs from all the
Jesus
spiders, catching
Christ,
things and eating their
grow up.
insides.
Can
Like
I-
indecision, I call you and hear the voice of treason. Will you come home and stop this pain tonight?
Hold on,
Don't
can we
waste
do it
your
like
time
this?
on
No.
me. I'll always
He's
a voice inside your head.
Then we
I
can,
miss you.
much like Tom, we can talk about aliens. Oh, listener,
They
if you're
did.
going to Metallica on Sunday and you see me, buy me a beer.
You're going to Metallica on Sunday?
Yeah,
I saw them building the thing.
They're
I went
dude,
to
they're
Picture Place.
so good live. They just put on such a good show.
I've never seen them. They were on my bands I got to see before I die list. Oh, before they
Dude,
die.
you are
'cause
gonna
they'll
be
probably die
so
before
happy
me.
at that concert.
They're
And
not outlasting you.
you never know. And Five Finger Death Punch is opening, so I'm pretty excited.
Oh,
Waba, I have found a store on eBay right now. The guy has 99.9% positive. Everything is 99 cents and no one is bidding on anything and it ends in like an hour and a half.
is it me?
And
Actually,
I
no,
don't know.
I'm at 100. Your boy's top rated. I'm
The
not.
boys
Chris
are
of the North,
topping over
like
here.
amazing cards. And they're all cheap as sin.
Stonks.
Mad stonks.
All right, folks. Well, thank you very much for being here. If you had fun, make sure to check out our YouTube, youtube.com/3dads and a console. We have a bunch of things coming out. Just came out with a few videos. If you want to see footage from Star Wars, you can there. And you can also expect some other games that we are doing. 3dadsconsole.com if you want some fun articles. And yeah, go say hi to Peasant Metallica.
Hi to
And,
Peasant Metallica.
Find him at the pit, in the pit.
I mean, the pit. Absolutely not.
All right.
I'm too old for the pit now.
We'll see you folks soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. And yeah, go
Love you.
Bruins.
Bye.